might bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Good evening, my gang of miscreants, hoodlums, and roughnecks. Welcome back to Beyond the Ranch. My name is Mike.
I'm Erin.
And we're back here in Northeast Wyoming, part of our Wyoming Life, and getting a chance to hang out with you guys for the entire hour here on our bi-monthly. Is that what it's considered? I always get this screwed up.
Weekly.
No, it's not bi-weekly. Would it be bi-weekly?
That's not bi-monthly. That'd be every other month.
That'd be every other month. So bi-weekly live stream that we're happy to bring along and hang out with you guys. Also, we do have a monthly, I know that one.
I have hair in my mouth.
Patreon only live stream. If you're a Patreon supporter, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But if you are a Patreon supporter, you're more than welcome to join us for that very special live stream that takes place the last Sunday of every single month. Erin and I are actually coming off of a little short vacation that we got a chance to take away from the ranch, about 5 days. And now we are back, brand new, rejuvenized, re-energized, ready to go. And of course, it's raining, so that's kind of how things
not yet.
work. It's not quite raining yet, but it's going to get there. If you have a chance to check out the webcam, which I did notice we had a lightning strike.
Oh, it's raining.
But there it goes. See, now it's raining. About 5 minutes ago, we had a lightning strike out here. There we go. Microphone's on. About 5 minutes ago, we had a lightning strike out here, and that actually shut down the camera over here for just a few minutes. So hopefully it's back up and running once again. And hopefully the rain, lightning, any type of storm that we have tonight is not going to screw up our live stream at all. Hopefully we'll still be able to keep on rolling through this. We're expecting, what, an inch of rain tonight?
Weather Underground says 0.86 inches.
And we got a half an inch of rain yesterday.
Yes.
So, not bad.
And we had 0.6 last Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, we're getting some of the monsoon rains.
Yeah, what is that exactly?
I don't know. It's monsoon season, and we're getting...
Monsoon season where?
In like Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona, so that's pushing up the Rocky Mountains to us.
Is William here?
It's William, yes, William here. He can explain it to us. Yeah, it's actually been decent, but we started talking about what kind of videos to do here in the next few weeks, and one of the ones that came up is, are you going to get a second cutting because of all the rain? Unfortunately, no, we're not going to get a second cutting.
So there's like a big storm that's coming right for us, and these are pretty slow moving storms. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So. Goat cam is the only one working. Not surprising. Who knows?
Did you fix the webcam?
I did today, and
now you broke it again.
Now I broke it again. I didn't break it. I think that I think the weather is being.
It's working on my phone.
Is it push play? Now will it connect? Oh, there it goes. So the pasture cam is working. And I don't know about the other cameras or not. We do have the steer cameras up and running.
That thing goes offline all the time.
It is off. Well, it's actually stealing internet from the Airbnb, which is not, it has to go through about 14 walls to get out to where the steers are.
Yeah,
so,
not working.
No. Which one's not working?
Goat.
Oh, the goat's not working.
No, the goat's working. Oh, no, steer. It's thinking about working.
So if you are on our website watching the cameras, watching the rain roll in, that's exactly what you're going to be seeing. So tonight we are not, well, I don't know what Erin's drinking tonight, but I've actually moved away from my normal drink, which is the Seagram 7, to something that was sent to us. We actually got a case of it in the mail. This was sent to us by the Best Damn Bloody Mary Ever Big Bayou Bloody Mary Mix. And these guys are out of Houston, Texas.
Well, it's bottled in Houston.
Yeah, manufactured for them in Houston, Texas. I'm not sure where they're really based out of. I
was confused by that too.
Yeah, you can check them out at bigbayoucocktailsauce.com.
Yeah, so it got sent to us. I got an alert that we were getting cocktail sauce. Big Bayou Cocktail Sauce was sending us.
Yeah, Erin was like, somebody sent us like 24 pounds of cocktail sauce.
I just got the UPS notification, like they didn't contact. Did they contact us?
So I got an email, I don't know, a few weeks ago. Somebody said, hey, we're sending you some Bloody Mary mix. When somebody says they're sending you Bloody Mary mix, you don't think they're going to send you a case of Bloody Mary mix.
I never got that. But it said, I got a shipping notification for Big Bayou cocktail sauce.
Right.
And then I looked at the details because I was like, well, I didn't order cocktail sauce. And it was the way
You
it
did
was,
make the mistake last live stream of talking about sriracha
I think, yeah, in the Patreon.
and so people threatened to start sending us sriracha.
We can't find it. Thank you, JP Merrick. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But so I just got this UPS notification that we had 24 pounds from a 24-pound box coming from Big Bayou cocktail sauce. I was like, oh my god, I will never use that much cocktail sauce. But it was Bloody Mary mix. So they have 3 flavors.
They have 3 flavors of Bloody Mary mix. The one that I am drinking tonight, which I'll tell you, I haven't even tried it yet, is the bacon Bloody Mary mix. They also have the bacon, which I have there. I apparently grabbed all bacon.
Grabbed all bacon.
They also have habanero and then a
original.
regular Bloody Mary mix. I just grabbed all bacon for some reason. But if you are a really good friend of ours and you're expecting Christmas presents, you may actually end up getting Bloody Mary mix. So we're going to try it out here in just a second. William sent me a text. And he said, monsoonal season is when the moisture begins to flow off the Gulf of California and northwards across the southwest U.S. and up into our region. Begins mid-July, lasts until October.
This is the first year that I have heard about this, though.
Well, I'd never heard of a bomb cyclone before it happened either.
Or a derecho.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's where you get the 70, 80 mile an hour winds, but not tornadoes.
Oh, well, isn't that like every other Thursday here?
Well, yeah, for us. But
I would take it. If they have a name for it, that's great. We just call it Thursday. So anyway, actually, let me try it. You want to try it first?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
I'll stick to mine.
Yeah, what are you drinking?
Just tequila and soda.
Oh, that's pretty. Wow, it tastes like bacon. That's
weird
different
to me. So of all the 3 flavors, bacon would have been the one that I would have tried last.
Really? See, that's the one I wanted to try first, just because I knew that it was like. So I had a Bloody Mary when we were on vacation here this last week, and it had
For $15.
a $15 Bloody Mary, which is insane. When they don't put the price on the menu, which a lot of places, and
it was on the menu.
Was it on the menu?
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. Apparently, I had some
was
sort
on
of
the
stroke
menu.
at that time. But anyway, that thing came with bacon so Bloody Mary, and then it had the skewer thing.
Yeah.
And it had the olives, and it had bacon, and it had
Pickles.
and yeah, the
With
bacon
tomato.
thing threw me off. I was like, when do they start putting bacon with Bloody Marys? But then, of course, this one actually does. It tastes like bacon.
Now you have to add your tequila. It's just the mix, Zach.
Yeah, this is with Tito's.
Did you mix it?
Yeah, I actually used a mixer, a shaker. I put it all together.
That's not how you do a Bloody Mary.
Well, I don't know. I didn't. It mixed, shaken, not stirred. Am I James Bond? What's going on?
We don't have Venmo. You don't need. Nobody needs to Venmo us money. Okay. Yeah, tequila, soda, and lime juice.
Yeah, if you do want to support us, you can do so. We're not
Buy
going to
some
stop you
jerky.
from doing that. You can go to our website, ourwomenlife.com, buy jerky, buy T-shirt, buy a hat. You can become a Patreon supporter, and you can do that through patreon.com/ourwyominglife, or somebody will throw up a link for us. You can, for as little as $1 a month there, and you get perks out of that. You can order beef and pork
You
from
can
us. Then
join
you
the
can
live
get
stream.
all kinds of cool stuff. You get a free live stream. So yeah, I think
Bloody Mary with
lots of different
gin,
ways to support the channel.
I don't like gin, but
Bloody Mary with
I don't
gin.
know what that name is.
Jump. Oh, this will be fun. Let's try to figure this out. Jump. This is like reading license plates.
Jump RV Hunter Camp.
Jump RV. Oh, yeah, that might be right. Jump RV Hunt Camp. Jumper Hunter Camp.
Jumper RV.
Yeah, there is RV in there. That throws me
RVer.
off. Anyway, if anybody figures that out, feel free to let us know. There's Bloody Mary that comes with a cheeseburger, and I've seen that where they have it's actually a meal on top of your Bloody Mary. It has a cheeseburger, big old pickle, probably some fries shoved through there. So, yeah,
That's just not necessary.
how many calories? Well, this is.
What's tomato base? It's not that bad.
Yeah, 50 calories. So you can throw a cheeseburger on there and probably still be okay. How many calories does vodka have?
Probably 100 and something.
Per shot?
120 probably.
Really? Wow.
Oh, Thomas, you're good. Thanks for supporting us. Don't feel like you have to do more. Just go buy jerky.
Yeah.
Get
Buy
something out of
jerky,
it.
do all that kind of stuff. And then YouTube doesn't get 30%,
Yeah.
so that works out great.
How many calories in vodka?
There you go.
I'm gonna guess 120.
100. Oh no,
Oh,
you're way low.
64 in
60.
1 ounce.
Yeah, look at that. I could
How
have more
many
than one.
calories in tequila? 69 calories.
Oh, see, I'm winning.
4 more calories.
What do they use for flavoring for bacon? I honestly
Spices.
don't know.
I'm sure it's spices. They don't have to.
They don't put. Well, it says artificial flavors and bacon. It
Well,
says
like,
bacon.
how do you put bacon in there?
I do not know.
There is. Oh my God, there's a lot. Do you guys want to hear? Vegetable juice, water and concentrated juices of tomatoes, carrots, celery, beets, parsley, lettuce, watercress, spinach, vitamin C.
Sounds good so far.
Which is
Pretty
absorbic
natural.
acid, natural flavoring, citric acid, high fructose corn syrup, monosodium glutamate, salt, spices, onion and garlic powder, dried clam broth, ugh, vinegar, some good old red 40, red chili pepper, tomato products, horseradish, fresh jalapeno, fresh lime, hot sauce, Worcestershire, fresh cilantro, black pepper, celery salt, propylene glycol.
Wait a minute, isn't that
Stabilizer.
antifreeze?
That's a stabilizer.
Oh, okay.
Natural and artificial flavors in bacon. Contains shellfish.
Well, yeah, because it has clam juice in it. I like clamato too, though. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of along the same line. It's not bad, honestly. Like I would have, I'll have another one. It's not horrible. I am looking forward to trying the habanero.
Yeah, I would try
habanero,
that.
habanero, and then of course the regular. So
It's got spinach and watercress, so
yeah, it's like a salad. Put a little dressing on it, we're good to go.
put an olive in it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we are coming off of a really short vacation, 5 days that we managed to get away from.
6 days.
6 days. Felt like 5 days. We managed to get away from the ranch and go out and do some fun stuff that really didn't have anything to do with the ranch.
Well, no, that's what vacation is.
Well, it's sometimes hard to tell around here. If you manage animals or people, probably for that matter, vacations are hard. Yeah.
Zach says Bloody Marys are his airport drink.
An airport drink. I don't hang around that many airports anymore. Wish I did.
Yeah, we went on vacation, Jeff. Do you remember? Yeah.
Got nothing to say. I was going to see if you were going to start off a new topic or something. Answer some questions. Pickled green beans.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not a bad idea. Let's scroll back, see if we got any questions. If you have any questions for us, feel free to ask. We tend to just kind of let these flow as they happen. Live streams tend to be just kind of dictated by you and what you have going on in your lives and what kind of questions you have for us, and we kind of flow with that. So if you do have any questions, feel free to ask them, and we'll try to come up with the best answer that suits us as far as we can. Do we want to talk about where we went on vacation?
I don't care. I didn't know you were going to tell me we went on vacation.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter now. We, basically, whenever we decide to leave, or either one of us really has to leave the ranch, we tend to have to film a little bit ahead, kind of get an advanced kind of thing set up so that we can leave. So once we're back, it doesn't really matter at that point. How are the newborn calves? Calves, I'm guessing calves coming along. Yeah, our last calf was born not too long ago, about a month or so ago. It actually didn't get a tag because we missed the birth of that calf, and it ended up taking off on us. And still, I don't think it's tagged yet, but that's okay. We'll get it tagged when we bring it in. So, how's your gardens doing, by the way?
Slow. Everything's really slow. Everybody in the area is slow. I mean, they're doing okay. It's just kind of, we're just slow to pick stuff. Like, I just feel like every week we're like just struggling to come up with stuff for the farm store.
Is it
It's
weather
starting to
or
trickle.
what is doing it?
It was really, we had some cool nights in June, and it was like we had a night that was like 34 degrees in June, which nothing froze, but like that's cold, obviously. And then it's been really hot too. So, I don't know. It just is what it is this year. Hopefully we won't have an early frost. Things look good.
Yeah,
We're
gardens
just
look
slow.
great.
Did you tag it,
Yes,
Jeff?
it's tagged. I think I didn't tag it. So unless Jeff tagged it, or Carrie tagged it, or you tagged it,
I didn't tag it.
I have no idea. You can look in the computer and see if it's tagged, because if it's tagged, somebody would have put it in the
I
computer,
don't think
right?
it's tagged.
I don't think it is either. So, JB Weld asked if the
Thank
rain will
you.
do anything for the reservoirs. $20 super chat. Thank you very much, JB. Honestly, if you look at the pasture cam, the pond that's right out there in the triangle pasture is pretty much dry. Kind of shocked me, actually. A few days before we left, I went down there and I was like, oh my gosh, it's dry. Everything dried up in there really fast.
Well, the cows were drinking it. The steers were in there, and they
True.
were drinking it.
Yeah.
When an animal drinks, a steer will drink, what, 20 gallons a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely pulls the water out. But yeah, I mean, they do dry up. So this time of the year, it all depends on how fast the rain comes down.
Right. Runoff is what we're looking at.
If it is slow enough that the ground can absorb the water, it won't do anything for reservoirs other than what they just catch. You have to get a really large downpour to fill reservoirs.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of rain, like 5 inches of rain. So.
And within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything will fill back up then. But the problem is that the ground is pretty dry at this point, so any moisture we're getting is just getting soaked up, which is,
Yeah, I mean, luckily, like,
to be expected this time of
it did
year.
rain last night.
Yeah.
But
It didn't fill up any reservoirs. They don't look any different to me. There's a few puddles here and there, but
we
nothing
have
major.
puddles, yeah. Farmer's Almanac has said that our part of the country is going to be snowy and cold.
Yeah, I saw that today. It was Colorado. They were talking about Colorado, but Colorado's supposed to have a pretty harsh winter.
Yeah.
So it'll
We'll
probably
take all the
get up
snow
here.
we can get. Yeah, and I saw like our region, like what do they call us? Like the Central West or something, snowy and cold this winter. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll take the snow. I mean, cold kind of comes with it, but hopefully we get some snow.
Yeah, for sure.
RG and Red.
You're having a heck of a time with names today.
Do you have good luck with your Honda four-wheelers? Would you recommend one?
I love the four-wheelers, honestly. I mean, the last video that came out, which was Thursday's video, we went out and we moved all those cows around, and basically every cow in the ranch, besides the steers and the feedlot, got moved around. And we caught, some people, well, you got to put those four-wheelers away and get on horses and everything else. And honestly, at this point, like, I don't have the time.
Four-wheelers forever.
Yeah.
Like, when did...
Well, when we came here, we had the yellow. Remember the yellow ones?
Yeah.
And they didn't have power steering or anything like that, but they were still better than a horse, obviously.
Yeah.
And
But
then
then Gilbert bought the red ones. I think we had one red one.
No, he bought... I can't remember. I think he bought both of them while we were
They
here.
both
but
came
yeah.
before 2012. I know that.
Right. Yeah.
And we've had them since then, and very minimal problems.
One of them's a 2009, the other one's a 2011.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's been great. Some tires,
yeah, we go through tires, but...
little bit of maintenance, but
Yeah,
way
I mean-
cheaper than a horse in the long run.
And, I mean, you go and start those things up and you're off and running. You don't have to go catch a horse, saddle a horse, put a horse away, fight with a horse half the time, trying to get, if the cows are 6 miles away, you got to get go get a trailer, put them in the trailer, take them down. Yeah, four-wheeler, we're off and going, and that's it. You know, a little bit of fuel. So.
Yes. Somebody asked about shade cloth. Ben Carlos, do you use shade cloths in the greenhouse? Are they not being used now with heat? Nope, they both have stuff in them. The tomatoes just have to suck it up.
You don't have any shade cloth down right now?
No.
No.
So you can get shade cloth that covers the entire high tunnel, or like in the springtime I'll put shade cloth just over like a row on like the lettuce and stuff especially, but I don't do anything in summer. The tomatoes are too tall and they're fine. They can handle the heat as long as they have enough water. And then we have winter crops planted, and I just ventilate things differently for spring or summer crops. So yeah, it's fine.
Shade cloth, I remember you talking about shade cloth years ago, and you're like, I should have shade cloth.
Some years it would be nice.
Right.
But like our nighttime temperatures cool off. Like we're down in the 50s most nights, or low 60s. It's really only a few hours out of the day that it is really brutal in there. But they acclimate to it, and I've never really had any problems. Like tomatoes will apparently like blossom drop. If I didn't open them, like the sides roll up.
Right, ventilation.
Yeah, I just have to, and it's breezy here, so yeah, I've never had any problems with like blossom drop or anything with the tomatoes. So
Right.
yeah, depends on your climate.
Really quick, Thomas asked if the John Deere buggy is heated. It is, and honestly,
Heater?
The heater.
The gator.
The gator, the buggy. I get that. You know, Australians, some different places they call it different things, but it is heated. The crazy thing is you're sitting on the engine, so it really doesn't need a heater half the time. But yeah, it is heated. John Paul Henry, a $40 super chat there. Congratulations on the future 19th anniversary of your 21st birthday. Oh, that's so sweet.
It is.
John Paul, by the way, Henry. We had a conversation during our Patreon only live stream. Touting the differences between Taco John's and Taco Bell. Now, there was not declared a clear winner. The Patreon live streams, by the way, if you're not a Patreon supporter, you've never been to a Patreon live stream, they're like a slightly controlled train wreck that is really fun to watch because eventually somebody's head's going to roll across the road. But we got into conversation about Taco John's and Taco Bell. John Paul Henry actually sent us a gift card for Taco John's. Thank you very much. That's actually come in handy. I've been meaning to send you an email and I kind of forgot, so I'm just going to tout all your great things. I know, and I forgot. But thank you very much for that. We do really appreciate it. We actually ended up, we were lunch or something. We got 6-pack and a pound from Taco John's.
You fed everybody.
We fed everybody. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Somebody asked, I think Hefner Farms, Jeff's wrong. It's not 90 days, it's 120 days that the steers are on grain. Close, but it's actually 120 days.
Right, the way things are working right now. We are, right now, because the calves were smaller when they go into the feedlot, we were stretching it out.
Well,
longer.
just the way we're processing every other month, and we have 2 compartments for graining, so they can be in there 120 days.
Right.
So
being able to regulate the amount of grain they get, that's how we control the finishing. So, Hefner Farms asked if how long do we put steers on grain before they're finished? We're headed back to auction next week to get more feeders and hopefully finish out. Yeah. It depends on how big they are when they go into your finishing program, obviously.
Well, and how it depends on your grain ration and what your target weight is. And like, I mean, there's a million variables. What your protein of your grass is, what your protein of your grain, what's your fiber content, what your micronutrients are. Like there's a million things. And you're going to make a whole video about some of the nuances of finishing.
Yeah, we're looking at we're working with FBN now to actually kind of fine tune our finishing program, all the way down to like amino acids and stuff like that that help the animals absorb the food better and everything else.
I think we raise really, really good beef and stuff, but like we're working to be more efficient,
right? And
to make sure that we're always hitting our target weight of 1,200 pounds consistently, because we've been a little bit late the last couple times, which is fine. They still taste really good, but I want to have as much meat as possible for you guys. So yeah, we're just trying to get better and better at it. And I don't know that we'll ever have it completely figured out, because it can change.
Right.
Your hay can change.
Right. Yeah. You're always testing. I've said it 100 times. My biggest thing this year is you can't manage what you don't measure, and that comes down to knowing what your hay looks like, even from field to field. And there's 10, 20, 50 different variables that can play in there. So it's definitely an interesting thing to try to figure out. I don't think you ever figure it out.
No. I think you got to constantly be adjusting. So.
Yeah.
Bubba Bumpkin said, didn't Bambi pass away? No, Bambi's still here.
Oh, yeah. Bambi's still around. In fact, Bambi will probably, I can almost guarantee it, she's going to be in Monday's video that's due out tomorrow. Oh, my gosh, it's almost Monday already.
Yeah.
How did you guys like the Canadian snacks? Oh my gosh.
We haven't tried the ketchup.
We should have brought those up. So, yeah, we got ketchup chips.
I cleaned the pantry today. And the ketchup chips are still in there. But we did open the other chips.
Yeah, which ones were those? Those were
in the blue bag.
Yeah, the sweet and savory chips or something like that. Those were really good. Erin ate all the chocolate.
Yeah, I did. Well, no, there's a couple candy bars left. I did eat the Cadbury, the Caramels. Those were good.
And then the French Canadian Coke.
Oh yeah,
with the maple syrup.
I'm not a fan.
That was interesting. Yeah, it was good. I didn't mind it at all. It was different, but it was definitely good. So.
Yeah, thank you for the snacks. They were good. I was reading comments.
I thought they were really good. So thank you very much. Yeah, ketchup chips with your tomato drink. Maybe.
I don't really like ketchup. Do you have the nutrition breakdown of the hay? The old hay.
The old stuff, not the new stuff yet. No, I'm still, I still got to get the rest
You
of that
haven't
put
sent
together.
it.
No, I haven't sent it yet. So,
It probably won't be much different.
no, I mean, it really depends. Like that stuff that we got out of Missouri was a little bit higher in protein than what we usually get here.
Really?
Off the
It
ranch.
was still
Yeah.
only like 8%.
Yeah, and it depending on which group it came out of everything else. So, what's your finished target weight? We're looking up to about 1,200 pounds. Is usually what we're trying to go for. So, Marjorie asked if Marty's still around. Yep.
Yeah, she was in a video a few weeks ago.
That's actually in the thumbnail for this video. That's Marty with me trying to give me a kiss in the thumbnail. So.
Is it raining or is that your computer?
I don't know. It's doing
your
something
computer.
outside.
No, it's raining.
It is raining. Of course it's raining.
How much rain have we got? Anybody want to guess?
How much rain we've gotten so far. If anybody's watching the webcam, they would know because it's actually in the corner, I think. It would show what the rain.
3/100ths.
3/100ths of an inch. Woohoo! Here we go. Have you tested the twin heifer yet? We have not. We'll probably, I don't know when we might be able to do that at preg checking maybe. There's a visual type of test they can do, or palpation test, and then there's a blood test they can do as well. So
They're not going anywhere, so it's not, like, I know you guys really want to know, but, like, they're not going anywhere, so they're either going to go into the feedlot program, or they're going to stay here and be bred.
right.
We're not, there's no deadline, per se, like, we're not selling calves in October.
No.
So, I know you guys want to know, but it's okay that we don't know yet.
No, it'll take time to get there, but
Yeah. They'll get tested. I have talked to some people that a former vet, and he's like, "Don't waste your time or your money. Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to breed." So
I mean, it's like a 95% chance
yeah, that they're sterile. So
that they're sterile.
So yeah, I mean, just prepare for that. They're sterile. So it'd be great if they're not, but
we talked about it because after you talked to the vet, it was like, we still have to get them tested because we still have to be able to come back and say, okay, we had them tested. They're not, viable. They're sterile.
yeah, we'll get them tested. But like they're most likely sterile. So
Yep.
yeah.
LOL tried to get back to his heifers. Actually, while we were gone, the heifers tried to get back to LOL. That's what happened. They actually got themselves mixed back in, but now everybody's separated back out, and everybody seems to be working. So,
Well, Jeff separated them.
yeah,
And Carrie.
Yeah.
They fixed it.
problem solved.
Are the two new bulls performing as well as your past bulls? We won't know until we preg check.
Yeah, it's kind of like it is. It's very. I mean, we know that. So LOL, before he comes here, we actually, he's tested. He's, viability and all that kind of stuff is tested. So yeah, we know that he's, able to do the job. But we honestly don't know if he did the job until preg checking, which hopefully this year will happen in October, maybe November, but we're hoping to get it done in October. I should just go ahead and schedule that now and just get
Yeah.
it scheduled. Then we know for sure. But it is kind of like, it for me, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I was even thinking about it the other day when we were out moving LOL off of the heifers, and it was like,
Hope it worked.
I hope everything worked out right, because right now I'm just basically just hoping, betting that he did.
Trust the process.
Yeah, just like, okay, we're done, and we're just going to roll the dice and hopefully everything. I mean,
it's-
I have no doubt that he did his job down there. Honestly, I didn't sit down there and watch and make sure that he did. So, I mean, who knows?
Yeah. No, we can't ship eggs.
No.
I'm sure you guys can find, if you're looking for local eggs, that's probably one of the easiest things to find locally.
True. Yeah.
I don't think it would be cost effective for us to ship eggs. So.
Yeah. How many animals are going back into your herd, or how many bull calves? We're split about even, so I think it's
They're all staying. Everything's staying.
yeah, everything's staying on the
Yeah.
ranch. The steers will be finished,
Yeah.
and all the heifers will roll into the breeding herd.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's going to work. Fall plantings. Do you do many? Well, you've got spinach going.
I had the whole height tunnel. The whole spring high tunnel is now a winter high tunnel.
Okay, so what's in there?
Beets.
That's what I'm working my way towards here.
Beets, cilantro. What did we plant? Arugula. Carrie, what did we plant? Carrots, beets, arugula, cilantro. I think I did some kohlrabi and some turnips. And then I'm going to do more, I'll do more radishes and lettuce, but I just wanted to wait just a little bit. So.
And this is considered your fall planting, so that, or for fall harvest kind of thing? Winter harvest. Yeah. Gotcha.
We don't know when the donkey's having her fall. Soon.
No, so we're hoping sometime in October. That's kind of what we're aiming for. If everything.
Yeah, but it could be any day now. Like
she doesn't look like that. She's that pregnant. And I mean, unless she doesn't. I mean, she looked bigger, and Jeff will probably back me up on this. When she had more fur, she had her winter fur. Yeah. She looked bigger then. I looked at her today, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks like she's thin.
Again, we're like trusting the process that she's pregnant. And we don't. She was never ultrasound confirmed pregnant. She was exposed, hoping she's pregnant.
Yeah, very much.
Oh yeah,
so.
There's sweet potatoes in the high tunnel, and there's kale, and there's rainbow chard. We'll do lettuce and spinach and radishes here in a week or so.
William Fissner has a question that you might be able to answer. Why are eggs so high priced in the supermarket?
Because of the avian flu.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because of the reduction of birds. I mean, millions of birds have been killed in this country because of avian flu.
And this is in larger egg production
it's in commercial
type places.
Egg
Obviously, we haven't killed any
No,
chickens.
but there have been backyard egg producers or small scale egg producers that have had to get rid of their entire herd.
I was reading about the avian flu thing, and it was like brought in by ducks, right?
Yeah, it transmits from. I didn't read a lot about it because there was really not much you could do about it. But yeah, it was brought in by wild birds, and then it could spread in like a commercial setting. It could spread from like barn to barn. So they had to put in a bunch of like sanitization procedures, which they already have in a lot of those commercial barns. Anyhow, but yeah, it can spread. It's very contagious, and it's very, very deadly. So if it was detected at all, even amongst like a small population of chickens, entire barns were euthanized to hopefully prevent the spread.
Right.
So it seems to be somewhat under control. From what I understand, I haven't really kept up with it. But it's, yeah, I mean, the price I looked at chicken breast today in the grocery store, and they were $4.99 a pound. They were $2.99 a pound, last year at this time. So,
right.
Yeah, it's definitely a big part of it is the avian flu, and also just cost of inputs is higher and cost of trucking is higher.
Yeah.
So, but mostly the avian flu. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Eric, or EZ 1913 asked, did the deer fence work? So far, it has. It shocked me the other day. So.
Yeah, and Carrie saw a steer sniff it and run away. So.
I would have liked to see that. You saw the steers. So we moved the steers over there, like we showed you guys in the last video. But you saw the steers were kind of hanging out in that general area, and all of a sudden there was a giant commotion, and they all ran away.
Yes.
So somebody got shocked there too.
Yeah, I didn't actually. I was in the house, but you can see it. It's not raining anymore.
It's all done raining.
Yeah, it's probably gonna miss us. Yeah, now it says 3/100ths. So that was apparently our rainstorm.
Oh well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it seems to be working. It should work.
Yeah, I don't see any problem why it wouldn't. So,
Yeah, we'll trust the experts in that situation. They said it would work.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right. Cruising right along here, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Tammy Jenkins asked what I'm drinking. I'm actually drinking a Bloody Mary. I lost my bottle. There it is. From Big Bayou Bloody Mary. They sent us some to try out. So there you go. You can check them out at Big Bayou Cocktail Sauce. Which you think they would have Big Bayou Bloody Mary. But, Big Bayou cocktail sauce works just as well. So... you can catch them at ketchupifyoucan.com. It's good. I actually like it. It's a bacon Bloody Mary. So,
hay is grass, straw is the stem of a grain, Lori. So they cut when they harvest wheat or oats or barley or any of your grains, they cut the head off. The combine cuts the head. And, well, it cuts all of it, separates out the grain, sends the straw, the stem, out the back of the combine, and then you bale it, and that's straw.
Right.
So. You can feed both to cows. You just have to supplement different if you feed straw.
Yeah, you can feed straw to cows. It fills them up. So, how many minutes does it take to make a bale of hay? That's a good question because it really does matter.
Like just wrapping or like filling the baler?
Well, I'm guessing filling the baler. It depends on your windrow.
Yeah.
And how, but we try to keep it down, I don't know, a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Depends. It really depends on the field. I mean, it can, you don't want to let that stuff roll around in there for too long, obviously, because it just turns to dust after a while. So, yeah, it really depends on what your yield is. But I mean, I get jealous when I drive by, like fields where you see a bale every 15 feet, and it's just like, oh my God, how amazing is that you just be like bale. Well,
and if you're a hay producer and you do like multiple cuttings and stuff, like each cutting is going to be different too.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
your
true.
yield is different, so it's all based on yield. How long does it take to wrap? Like 20 seconds, right? I mean,
yeah.
fast.
Wrapping, and that depends too, though, how many times you wrap it. So you can control how many times you go around that bale. So yeah, you could wrap it 3 times, or you could wrap it. We wrap like 2.2 times because we're keeping them on the ranch. We don't want to waste that much, so we don't wrap really
Most
a
hay
lot.
people only wrap 2.
Yeah. Well, so I've seen people wrap 2 times, and actually, when you do that, your seams end up in the same place.
Oh, sure.
So that's why I changed mine to 2.2, because then you have an overlap of where your seam is. So, and not that it's dead on every single time, because it's obviously not that perfect. But if you don't want your seam of your net wrap to be in the same spot, because then it just comes off. So if we do 2.2 or 2.25, then we get a little bit overlap. When we had to transport hay, then I would do like 4 wraps, because it had to be able to go on the truck and not fall
That's too
apart and
much.
everything else. Really? Because it worked great when I was transporting hay.
I know. That the stuff that we buy.
That stuff, yeah, that's like 1.5. Yeah, we're trying to keep that price down as much as possible. Jeff will tell you, Jeff has unloaded trucks that you grab the bale and it is falling apart when you take it off the bale. And a lot of that comes down to how many times you wrap it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it adds up. If you're a hay producer and you're making thousands of bales, like that's a lot of freaking net wrap. And if you can keep your costs down, if you can only wrap 1.5 times, and if it makes it off your place, like, good enough.
Now, you always get what we call our shiny bales, and that's when your baler has an error of some sort, and will wrap about 30 times around one bale, and it's like, ooh, that's a very pretty bale, and very nice and tight, and when you go to feed that bale, you have to cut through, and you end up taking off, 500 feet of net wrap from around a bale, but they look really nice out in the field, and I always get a kick out of it, because it happens to us every once in a while, but I'll be driving by other farmers or ranchers' field, and you look out there, and you're like, oh, there's a shiny bale. Like, that must have been, same thing happens everywhere.
Yeah, the baler just fails. And
it
just
just farts
wrapping.
out, or something happens, and
or it doesn't cut. It just keeps wrapping.
Yeah,
it happens once in a while.
It does happen. So, let's see.
Ginger Bank says, can you put the 2 twin heifers in with LOL to see if you can get them pregnant? If he does, yay. If not, off to freezer camp after visiting the steer they have to visit a bull, not a steer. So they'd have to be almost 2 years old before we could not 2 years old. They'd be 14 months. We can test them before that. And
find out.
If they're not going to be bred, like, it's not cost effective to wait till they're 14 months, put them in with a bull, wait until fall to preg check them, and then put them on grain. So we'll have it done here sometime.
William asked if I have 2 straw hats, because the one we see you wearing in a video is always looking dirty. Yeah, I mean, I have a work hat, and I have a nicer indoor type. This is just my live. It lives up here for live streams. That's the only reason I really have it. They do tend to rotate through, so this one will probably become a work hat, and then when the other one goes away.
This one's too tight. You don't like this.
It is. This one's a little too tight. Yeah, but I've got a stretcher, so I throw a stretcher on it before live stream. So by the end of live stream, though, my eyes start to bug out because it starts shrinking in. I'm usually ready to get it off and be done. Did Laramie flood yesterday? We actually drove through there. We didn't drive through Laramie yesterday, but we did see flood warnings for Cheyenne and Laramie. If William's here, he'll let us know. Yeah, it's
just a flash flood.
It was flash flood, yeah.
William already said.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. See, I knew it. We just conjure William. It's like Candyman. You say his name too many times, he shows up. But yeah, we hit some decent rain yesterday coming home. So definitely. So what do you have coming up? So obviously things start to slow down garden-wise pretty quick here, don't they?
Well, they don't really slow down. Like.
And not only garden, but like farm store and all that kind of stuff.
Freaking busy, man.
It is, yeah.
But no, I mean we'll harvest all the way through October. Mm-hmm. October's a ways away still.
It is still a ways away. But
I'm busy for a minute still.
What are you gonna be working on?
The garden.
Okay.
No, just
We're
harvesting.
pulling teeth over here.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, here shortly we'll hit like peak harvest season, but like. I mean, you've been around. It doesn't end.
But these guys have not been around, so I'm trying to get you to share what you
You're
have coming up.
You're asking bad questions.
Okay. Somebody ask a better question for me.
No, yeah, we're just going to be super busy harvesting from here on until October. Like, hopefully there's several thousand pounds of produce still out there, and that takes a little bit to get that all in. And obviously it's not all ready yet. But, yeah, I mean, FarmStore's just going to keep plugging away, and we'll have a decent amount of produce all the way through December. So yeah, so we're just gonna keep going.
Obviously a big shift coming up, like William said, when of the kids' first day of school. We were just talking about it. When the kids go back to school, it definitely changes the way the ranch works. I mean, obviously the kids are gone all day long then. We got
to get them to and from. I mean, they ride a bus one way, but we usually pick them up. I don't have the bus schedule yet. School starts on next Monday.
Yeah, so. Crazy.
Yeah.
Brian asks, what's the hot seller next week?
I don't know.
You're so full of information.
The gardens have been really slow, so it is hard to say like what we're gonna have, and like I'm in the middle of basket season for Edible Prairie Project, and so that takes priority and precedence. So, we do that on Tuesdays, and then Wednesday it's like, well, what else? It is kind of like pulling teeth out there in the garden right now, just to try and get a harvest.
You were actually out there not long before live stream started trying to figure out what's going to go in baskets for EPP, the nonprofit, next week. Did you figure that out?
Yes.
Can you share that?
Yeah, they're going to get lettuce, golden beets, onions, zucchini, peppers, just an assortment of peppers, and herbs, and ground pork.
Oh, ground pork this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
sweet.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Rainbow chard.
Oh. No kale.
No, I've already given them kale twice.
There's some kale. So that's what's going into the baskets for next week.
For Tuesday.
For Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you have to pick all that tomorrow, or do you pick it on Tuesday?
I do on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna be busy.
That's gonna be a lot to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need help, let me know.
Yeah.
I might have the day off.
You might.
So.
Yeah, I
might. Joe asked, what's the max animals you guys want in your main herd? And when you hit that, what will happen to extra heifers? That's a very good point. Obviously, we're going to have a natural rotation that's going to happen, and we're going to have to be a little bit more strict about that rotation. A lot of ranches, when a cow hits 6, 7, 8 years old, like they're rotated out.
Yeah.
And we're going to probably have to get more strict about that, because the smaller herd that you run, the more efficiently you have to run it, right? So it may be not like, if it's Bambi coming through, obviously exceptions will be made, but we're going to have to be better about that. So some of those heifers are still going to be rotating in every single year.
Yeah.
Maybe not that many, and that's where it gets tricky, because like if you only bring in 10 heifers, do you have to get a new bull for those 10 heifers? How do you breed those 10 heifers? Do we start looking at AI? Those kind of questions are going to have to be answered as we move forward. We have said in the past, like the ideal herd size that we're looking at this point would be about 75, which is, half of what the ranch was running at one point. So that'll definitely dictate,
That's
how
our plan
things
for
happen.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens when we get to that point.
Right.
If we're meeting demand, and yeah, I mean, we'll just see. Like,
So I've thought about, the heifers we do. Do we sell bred heifers? Do we just sell heifers? I really don't want to take heifers to auction. Don't want to do it. I'd rather sell them directly to other farmers, other ranchers that want to finish them. Do we figure or raise their own with them? Do we figure out how to finish heifers?
yeah.
Do we do that and start working that way? So there's definitely some different directions that we can take and how we can get that to work. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we will eventually end up finishing heifers too.
Right.
So, and we might AI at some point in the future. You still have to have a cleanup bowl.
Yeah. You still have to have a bowl of some sort. So.
It doesn't really solve. It does solve your bowl problem, and you can bring in different genetics, and I mean, you can get whatever you want in a straw. But yeah, you still have to have a cleanup bowl, and there's a lot more that goes into AIing. It's possible. Obviously, lots of people do it. So we'll see. We have a loose guideline of where we want to go, but it's not like we have everything figured out, and we're going to just kind of see what we need when we get there.
Right.
So.
Canuckino Girl, your banana bread in the farm store is delicious.
Thank you.
By the way, they came, her and her family came and stayed at the Airbnb not too long ago, brought us a really cool gift basket of Canadian goods, which were pretty much gone except for the ketchup pickles, which we're still afraid to try. But I'm really glad you like the banana
chips, not
What did I say?
Pickles.
Well, ketchup chips. Yeah, not pickles. Ketchup chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Maybe
even
they'd
so.
be good with a pickle on it though, because like barbecue Lays with a pickle is a good snack.
See, my brain's working ahead of time. That's what I'm doing. So, let's see.
It's Keith said cattle numbers are way down. Feeder prices are going to be high this fall. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because the drought is not just affecting Wyoming anymore.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's all over the West. Texas is in a really horrible drought right now. Yeah, huge numbers of cattle are going into the auction system right now. I know everybody's worried about like what the price of beef is going to be this winter, but like they're going to have to get through this influx of animals that are coming into the system right now. Like, not saying it's not going to affect prices now, but like I think we should be more concerned about what's going to happen a year from now when there's not spring calves or fall calving is not happening. Like there's tons of cattle being put into the system right now that are going to be processed into meat.
Right.
So let's see what happens in a year.
Yeah.
So
definitely going to be a interesting situation.
Yeah,
coming. I think it's going to be 2 years down the road. That's when we're going to see that lull that we're trying to catch up from. That's going to have to be addressed at that point. It always seems like you go through your ups and downs, and like when you have the lows, everybody panics and it goes crazy.
Yeah.
And then you hit really high, and then everybody goes, oh crap, I can't do that anymore. So I'm going to switch back to feeders, or I'm going to go, get away from cow calf, and then we drop back down. So there's that constant up and down. When you're doing it yourself, or you're trying to run, direct to consumer like we are, we don't want those big dips and highs and lows. We want to be able to anticipate. We saw that during COVID when March of 2020 hit and people came and bought $800 worth of beef all at once, and it was like, oh my gosh, we're going to be here. But you couldn't say no. We actually talked about at that point putting a limit on the amount of beef that you could buy, and we decided, well, we can't do that. That's not American. So you want to come in and buy $800 worth of beef, that's fine. But then we did have quite a few people that came in and said, well, I don't want to buy it all because I know there's people coming after me, that kind of stuff. So being able to anticipate things like that, you can't do it. But definitely the ebb and flow of the market system. Drought is another thing. Like Keith mentions, like you can't predict that.
Yeah, and it's always been like this country's been through droughts before, and it's affected the cattle industry, but it's usually like a region. Like a couple of states will have a really bad drought. It is the whole western United States.
Right.
And lots of cattle have been sold over the last couple of years. There are huge numbers that are hitting the market right now. But I would be more concerned about what's going to happen a year from now. But I mean, our herds, like, we were lucky. Like, we were in a little bubble that got enough snow and got enough rain that we got hay. Not everybody.
It's so nice not to look at the other people and see the bubble over here.
Yeah.
You know, not that I'm bragging or anything, but it is. It's been years of looking at the guy down the road, going, "Oh man, I wish I got that little bit of rain that they got in April." You know, that we didn't get. So the other thing that you can do is, you know, you can track grain prices. If you track grain prices, you're going to see what's happened with the feeder market 6 months ahead of time, 6 to 8 months ahead of time. If you're watching grain prices, you're going to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's going
beef
to affect
and everything
how many, you know, animals a feedlot. I mean, people, as long as you guys keep buying beef, like, animals need to be processed. I think Zach said they'll just import more from South America. Yeah, that they will do that.
Yeah.
It is a global cattle market, and we don't have to like that, but it is a global cattle market. And if you don't know where your beef's coming from, you could possibly be eating beef from Africa and South America and Central America. You know, like we always say, buy from a rancher, so you know where it comes from. But even though we're having a drought and it seems very catastrophic, and it's catastrophic to small American ranchers, to big American ranchers too, there's still beef.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks, but
It does.
there'll still be beef in the grocery store. I saw an article that said, like, beef's gonna go to $50 a pound. I might be wrong. They're just gonna import it, guys. Like, if it can't be produced in America, they're just gonna import it. If beef is $50 a pound, no one's gonna be able to afford to buy beef at $50 a pound.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have a hard time buying chicken at $5 a pound. Like, just like I can go without until this gets straightened out. Like, if beef goes to $50 a pound, just no one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to be imported, or we're just not going to have it. I don't know. Like, I'm not an expert, but that's just my opinion, I guess. I don't know.
Larry asked if you're doing any canning. Speaking of food.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what we end up with excess of. So, I mean, I usually always do salsa, and we'll see what else we have.
Right.
So.
Surprise leader on the ranch has really become the meat chickens, and Henry asked how are the meat chickens. It seems like we process chickens, and like a week later we're out of chickens.
Yeah.
Like, it happens that fast. And I don't know if it's people keeping track of you know, the price of beef and pork and chicken. And our chicken isn't cheap in the farm store.
It's $4.50 a pound.
Yeah, exactly.
So I complain about $4.99 a pound chicken breast in the grocery store, but that is confinement factory raised chicken breast,
Right.
which is like the one meat that we occasionally buy when I don't have chickens. But we charge $4.50 a pound, so I shouldn't complain.
Our chickens are special.
I shouldn't complain about $4.99 a pound, but I know the farmer's not receiving very much.
They're not
of
getting
that.
$4.99
No.
a pound. I mean, when we sell a chicken, we're getting $4.50 a pound for that chicken.
Yeah, chicken's not cheap. It's
yeah.
not cheap anymore from factory farming. It's not cheap from local farming. I know we're eating less chicken because of the prices and because we don't have any in the freezer right now. So
Right.
Somebody just said, Jeff Morissette said there was a feeder sale a couple weeks ago and 700 pounders plus brought over $207 a pound. So that's like $1,400. Let's remember in 2015 and 2014, weaned calves at 500 to 600 pounds brought $1,500.
Right.
So that's still
No, when you
still
know
not
how much
good.
it costs to raise a calf, that it doesn't add up.
No.
It doesn't work.
So while that price is better than it has been for a long time, it's still not good, guys.
If you want to look at, go right back to eggs. And I know that we talked about eggs earlier, and price of eggs is through the roof because of avian flu and the sniffles and all that kind of stuff. Avian sniffles, whatever they have. But we can't make money on eggs selling them in the farm store at what? What are we selling eggs for a dozen?
$4.
$4 a dozen. We cannot make money selling eggs at $4 a dozen from the farm. Literally, they have to be carried 100 feet, washed, put in a carton, and put into the farm store. And we're still not making money. So if you're buying eggs for $3 or $4 a dozen in the store, I don't even know what they are. 4 or 5.
I mean, it depends. There's huge variances, and
Right.
like if they're on sale, they're still like $2. And then other times, the fancy multicolor, free range, no GMO organic are $8 a dozen. Which, who's buying that?
Somebody is. That's the problem. So, and I tell people in the tour every single morning. Jeff rolls his eyes every time I say it, but I'm like free range, cage free, whatever.
Free range just literally means they're in a barn and they can wander around.
Right.
It does not mean
It's
that they
marketing.
get outside time.
It's marketing. Yeah. That's all it is. And I get people, well, are these free range chickens? Sure.
They're outside.
Are they cage free chickens?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, are they happy chickens? Do they get massages at night? I don't know what they're doing in there, but like whatever Jeff does with the chickens, it's working. They're laying eggs. We're happy, and we're able to sell them.
Free range, cage free, but. Yeah, if you look at like the terminology that the poultry industry uses, like cage free just means they're in a big barn, but not in cages. It does not mean outside access.
Yeah, yeah, and there's reports out there that not so much for eggs, but even for beef that actually breaks down who's making money and where at what stage along the way. There probably is.
We just don't live in that world.
But yeah, if you're getting $1,400 for a 700-pound steer, that's great. I'm sure that you're looking at that going, wow, that's an amazing price. Somebody else is making a lot more money somewhere down the line. When you start looking at the way that the food distribution program goes, there's not only producers and feedlot guys and the processors and the distributors and the grocery stores that are making money. There's brokers and buyers and everybody else in between each one of those steps. And everybody has to make their money, and everybody has to make their money to make it worth it. So there's an infinite amount of money that can be made off of one steer by the time it ends up in your grocery store. And that's where I'm saying, like, if you go buy from local farmers and ranchers, you're guaranteeing that your money is going to who it should be going to.
Yeah, but still, even with us, there's a lot of people that are making money alongside us, right? Dakota Mill is making money because we buy grain. The oil industry is making money because we have to buy gas to transport. Gary occasionally makes money because we hire him to haul grain for us.
Right.
We have to maintain a vehicle, so all of that. Have to wash a tractor, or not a tractor, a trailer. Yeah. So thanks, Alcoda.
Yeah. Hey, I'm wearing their shirt today, by the way.
The processor makes money. Again, that's gas and vehicle maintenance back and forth. The plastic company that the processor uses to vacuum seal it, they're making money. There's employees at the processing facility. I mean,
but what amazes me,
we buy, like for our jerky, we buy custom labels out of another company.
Right.
And then it comes back to the farm store. I gotta have a deep freeze to put it in. So there's somebody else. It's seriously endless, the number of companies that are.
But the thing that amazes me is that we can do all that here on the ranch and get that stuff. Obviously they're raised on the ranch, they're shipped off, they're brought back, they're sold in the farm store, they're sold online. But we can do all that and still keep the price of our beef and pork very competitive with what it is in the grocery store.
Yeah, and we just make a higher profit margin.
Right. So
than if we were selling calves.
Right, exactly.
But there's less. There are tons of people, but there's still less people involved.
Right. So. I would love to see, and this might be a job for somebody, if somebody's really interested in doing this, is figuring out how many different companies, how many different people make money off of one steer moving through that line.
I listed a dozen of them.
Well, I know exactly, but yeah, it's crazy. There's an infinite amount of money that needs to be made off of that steer to be able to move it from the farm to the grocery store.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So we see, and that's one of the things that we always talk about during the tour is being able to say, this is where your food comes from. This is the families behind it, but this is why it's important that what we're doing. And Erin and I had a great conversation the other day. We were talking about, if a farmer or rancher has 1,000 animals, for them to be able to do what we do isn't within the scope of their business. So that's pretty tough to scale that down or up. Like we're in a pretty small niche of being able to do this.
Well, and so we were able to say we don't want to participate in the JBS beef system anymore, so we quit. But we also I've been selling local food since 2010. Like, we have years of experience of selling food direct to consumer. And so it wasn't like all of a sudden we were just like, okay, well, we're not going to take calves to auction anymore. And we have an audience, like we have a customer base that we talked about that today. Like, it was our first several years, it was hard to sell 5 beef a year, like 5. I opened up the freezers today. We've shipped I don't know, close to 40 orders over the last couple of weeks, maybe more than that. And I'm just like, oh my God, we're already running out of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't take long.
we are in a totally different situation where like we can't meet demand, whereas most people, especially when you're starting out selling direct to consumer, like you're begging people to buy your product.
Yeah,
So
exactly. On another note, we'll go back just a little bit. Charles Reed asked, what's a cleanup bowl? We kind of cruised right by that, but if you are AIing, where you're doing artificial insemination, a lot of times you still have to have a cleanup bowl that comes in that naturally services any cows that don't take to the AI. You don't have to.
But good AI catch rate or whatever you want to.
It's like 85%.
I thought it was like 60.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
William, can you
Could have
Google
changed.
that?
Yeah, Google
It's
that
not
first.
100%. AI is
No,
not
God, no.
100% guaranteed.
No.
So you will AI them. I don't even like because we don't AI. I've read about it. Do you put a bowl in with them right away or do you wait?
I honestly don't know. I mean, this
And
is the
then-
thing. We don't do it. So
Yeah, and then you can't ultrasound them. Do you wait? Like, do you like make them pee in a stick?
maybe.
We don't know. And then put your bowl out for the ones that didn't catch, but then your cycle, like,
Yeah, then you're
calve
going to
it.
be screwed up.
We don't really know.
Yeah. A few questions going around about the emus. Yeah, they grow fast. I mean, there's really, I mean, we,
That's what they do.
you know, a pound a day is pretty normal for those guys to be
They
picking
grew
up the
while we
weight
were
and moving.
gone. Like,
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, we came back and it's like, oh my God, they got bigger.
Did you think they got bigger?
I thought they got bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their heads are bigger.
When we, their heads are bigger. Now that you mention it, when we did the tour this morning, they were doing they dance. So they were doing their little dance thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, they were looking over the fence.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you couldn't see over They could, but if they stretched. But now it's just
I
like,
think their heads are
right here.
thicker and like their necks, and maybe they're just getting fluffier, because like they don't have their adult mature like feathers, you know, because they're still babies.
Yeah.
But
William, you are Professor Google, but you're also the youngest moderator we have, so we trust you to be able to multitask. You know, we tell Matt to go do that. We'll hear from him like 3 hours from now. I'll get a text and be like, catch rate is 65%. Matt, a little late. So yeah, we're hoping you're able to multitask.
okay, so Jeff Morris said I run between 83 to 86%.
Okay, yeah, I said 85.
Yeah, so
yeah.
you're closer than I was.
Yeah.
If we were trying to AI ourselves, we'd have like a 30%
It'd be
catch
like,
rate.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you hire somebody that knows what they're doing, I can see that it can be higher.
Yeah. Exactly. I did see some questions go by. I was kind of talking and missed a bunch of questions, and I apologize if I do miss, you know, what your question was. I apologize, but maybe not. Maybe I didn't miss any. I don't know. We're cruising right along. That's all that matters. What is the BTR schedule? I thought the first Sunday of the month. We missed it last Sunday. We had some technical issues going on, so we actually missed the live stream last Sunday, so we decided to catch it this Sunday just to make sure you guys got it. And then we'll be back next week.
Oh, why you guys are so worried about when Jeff's leaving? He'll be here till he's gone, and then he'll be back.
And they're trying to get rid of him.
Why is
Everybody's
everyone so worried about
Because
it?
when Jeff leaves, I'm going to have 13 people show up on the ranch and be like, oh, I'm here to fill in Jeff's spot. Is this camper still here? Can I live in that? 'Cause
Sometimes you guys just are a little pushy.
2 strategies for AI. Timed AI is off synchronization, which we can do, or natural standing too. Yeah, a couple different ways to get around that. So
Yeah, so if you do synchronization, you do a time set of shots to bring them all into heat at
Right.
the same time. And if you're buying bred heifers that have been AI'd, or even done naturally, you can do natural service with a synced cycle. Like you'll see like 150 bred heifers all due to calve within 3 weeks, like in one cycle. Like they will preg check them, or they'll sync their cycles, breed them, however they do that, preg check them, say these 150 are all going to go at the same time, buy these.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a horrible 3 weeks, but then you're done.
Yeah. John apparently has stock in Stetson. Buy a Stetson hat. I've seen that about 50 times. I own lots of Stetson hats. We're good. Matt misses his cows. That's for sure. So number 5, who is one of Matt's best buddies, actually is now back in the freezers. And now we're going to have to hook Matt up with some of that. So
Walter said, at a small meat shop, I paid $15 for a 3-pound chuck roast. Yeah, that's cheaper than you'll pay in our farm store. That's a good deal. And that's cheaper than you'll pay in a grocery store, too.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No, I mean I've been watching grocery store prices, and we can look, see what a chuck roast costs at
Why not?
Albertsons.
I'll answer a few questions while you're playing on your phone.
I'm researching.
Sure, that's Facebook. I see what you're doing.
No,
You're looking at Facebook.
This is Albertsons.
Yeah, okay, whatever. That's TikTok. How old is Cracker Jack? Cracker Jack is 9 how old
this is a
Cracker Jack?
boneless.
I have to look at my phone now.
A boneless chuck roast, $8.49 a pound.
At the grocery store? Oh.
For choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so boneless, bone in. Yeah, $5 a pound. That's what they bone in. But yeah, we charge $7 a pound.
Yeah.
So.
Gary asked if we stay away from Sturgis during the rally. Yeah, if we can.
Yeah. We didn't have to go pick up beef or drop off beef this year.
No, and that's the first time in a few years I haven't gotten stuck over there during the rally. So, not a bad thing. Be able to pull a trailer around there is not very much fun. So, did they ever decide to get along? I think they're doing okay now. I honestly, I didn't go down and check them today, so I probably should have. But everybody seems to be getting along.
They settle down. They just fight.
Yeah, it's just, and Cracker Jack is weird when new bulls do show up. He has to go and check them out and make sure they're cool for the ladies. I mean, they're his women. You know, he's hanging out with them, so he's looking out for them.
Yeah.
A Cracker Jack T-shirt. It's hard to put cows on T-shirts.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to do. Alrighty, the rally is big this year. I didn't go to the rally at all.
We never go.
Never went. So,
I didn't see numbers or anything.
Sometimes they do print numbers. Yeah, I haven't seen. Today is the last day of the rally, right? So yeah. And all the bikers going home in the rain.
If you, it seems like it's starting way before. Like it's always the first full week of August, and it's supposed to be like weekend to weekend. But oh my God, it seems to start way sooner. Like there's a lot of trickle in.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Bacon Bit's been staying in their pen. Kinda. I guess there was a couple escapees while we were gone, but that was taken care of. Can you buy just hamburger? Yes, you can. If you're a Patreon supporter, you can do that. In fact, I would like to point out our new Patreon supporters for this month. It's been a interesting month on Patreon.
It's been busy.
So I'm going to run through some names here really quick. If this is one of you guys, feel free to give us a big yay and a thumbs up or whatever you want to do. Brenda Coulter is a brand new Patreon supporter. Norv Brown, David Wynn, Kathleen Gilmore, Tracy Kastner, Barbara Hothan, Jordan
You're bad at this too.
Ensminger, Ricky Westbrook, Beth Tiddall, Barry Kimsey, Gary Oles, Jeff Bowers, Charlie Xavier, Julie Mari, Nyla Hammerly, B. Collins, Jeremy McDermott, Gary Berg, N.A., which I think is kind of funny. Doesn't he want to give us his name?
That's fine.
Wilbert Miller, Hot Mess, Frank Rudsill, Cheryl Watts, Guy Bever, J.L. Gray, Kenneth Bem, Jody Rowan, Michael from Texas, Debbie Hoover, Sally Glade, and Lucy White, brand new Patreon supporters for this month. Thank you very much, guys. If you are a Patreon supporter, you're able to go on and buy beef and pork from our website, as well as getting invited every single month to our Patreon-only live stream, which takes place at the end of the month, every single month. So thank you very much, guys, for being on that. Brian asked if there's any opinions about raising ducks for eggs and carcasses. We have ducks. They're just
so messy.
They're ridiculous.
They couldn't, like our ducks and geese now just live with the chickens.
We have gotten duck eggs, and we've had duck eggs in the farm store before. Sold duck eggs in the past. Ducks kind of just drop eggs wherever they want, it seems like. They're just walking along, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, egg fell out. So, it's kind of a pain in the butt to go behind them and pick up eggs.
They don't lay a lot of eggs. Like a good duck, so like a good chicken layer is like 250, 275 eggs a year. Probably some of them are pushing 300 now with like enhanced breeding and genetics and stuff, that they're always trying to get you to almost an egg a day for those really heavy producers. Ducks lay like 100 eggs a year, 75 eggs a year. Like they just don't produce a lot, and they're so messy.
Yeah, and I think you would have to have
so bad.
You would have to have ducks confined to an area to be able to get all their eggs.
Right? Yeah, you'd have to pasture rotate them with like electric fence or something. Yeah, I mean, I do follow people on Facebook and Instagram that do it and stuff. Like, we just have to have a different setup. I like ducks. I don't like them that much, but I'd want that many of them running around. They're so messy.
They are ducks,
Like,
and
oh my
yeah,
God.
they just. We have to clean the duck pond this week.
Yeah.
We have to get that done.
And we got to figure out winter water for the ducks and and the geese. Like, they're so bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, big projects coming up on the ranch. Obviously, you're going to continue on with gardening and harvest and farm store and nonprofit and all that kind of good stuff going on. I've mentioned a few times that we are going to be tackling the chicken house this month. That's going to be a heck of a project. We're replacing the entire floor in the chicken house. We're replacing a bunch of the floor joists that have either broken. We had a fire in the chicken house a few years ago. So
several years
ago.
And we've had several floods from the dang ducks.
Yeah, exactly. So we've had some issues with the flooring that we got to get fixed up, and some water issues. We've got to start getting ready for winter and winter water and all that kind of stuff. So all that's coming up on the channel. Obviously, preg checking coming up. We'll be pulling off bulls here before too long. That's going to be coming pretty dang quick.
That's soon, yeah.
We got to get the bulls off the cows completely so we can get ready for preg checking. That means we got to put the bulls somewhere. Which
They'll go with the steers.
They'll go with the steers.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to be over there. We've got, just all kinds of stuff coming up. So it should be a pretty interesting month here on the ranch. But, if you do have requests for videos that you're looking for, feel free to email us, mail@ourwyominglife.com. If you have ideas for videos that you'd like to see, we always, we read every single email we get. While we may not be able to respond to every single one, we do read every single one. So,
that's iffy sometimes, too.
Well, you don't read every single one. Yeah. We do have some that slip through the cracks sometimes. I'll find emails
hard,
occasionally.
When we do the newsletter and stuff, you'll get 200-300 responses back.
Yeah.
If you send a non-newsletter response in the middle of when all that comes in, it can sometimes get lost. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Team No Skills Racing asks, how often do you have somebody in the Airbnb? Almost always nowadays. It's pretty.
Especially in the summertime.
Yeah, it's usually a few days break in between each one, and then right into.
We had quite a few one-day turnarounds. We're like, oh my god, we got to go clean it. They left, we got to go.
Yeah, it happens really, really fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. We're going to hang things up and move on for the evening. We've got kids to take care of, and of course a ranch to go put everybody to bed as well. Is it dark out yet? It's got to be getting close. So we're going to hang things up for tonight and get back into it. When do we change back to, somebody asked me when we change back to 6 o'clock live streams. That's after
when daylight savings.
Yes, that's November, so we got a ways to go. So we'll be sticking with the 7 o'clock on the first and third Sundays here on Beyond the Ranch. And then, of course, if you're a Patreon supporter, we have our special Patreon only live stream.
So are we doing?
Takes
we
place.
live streaming next week again?
Because then we get back on schedule.
Okay, next week.
Yep.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have any questions, feel free to email us, mail@ourwyominglife.com. Head to our website, check that out. You can sign up for the newsletter there. And then one big thing I'm going to ask you guys all to do is, if you do subscribe to the channel, which I really hope you do, make sure you hit the bell button. Notifications are working better on YouTube than they ever have in the past. I know there's been a lot of, they never work anyway, so why bother? But go hit that bell notification, because it does help us out in the long run. Making sure that people are able to watch our videos right off the bat does help build that momentum and keep things going. And of course, spread the word of where your food comes from, and of course the families behind it. So thank you very much for hanging out with us, guys, and we'll see you next weekend. New video due out tomorrow. We're going to go out tomorrow morning and we're going to cake the cows and get together and put together a project list for the next few weeks. So make sure you check that out tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock Mountain Time. So until then, have a great week, and thanks for being a part of our lives, guys. Thank you very much.